So once again, it's one of those ukuleles for people who want to do nothing more than plug in. Keep watching. Yeah, welcome back. It's GotAUkulele review day again. As ever, this is just a summary video review for the fuller review, which you'll find in the link below this video. Other links down there as well, such as how you can donate to help keep this site going. Very, very kind people being listed across the bottom of the screen there who've helped out. They're the reason I can keep doing this. Much, much appreciated. And if you like what you see on the YouTube channel, why not also help me out by hitting that subscribe button down there. If you hit the bell symbol, you'll also get notified of when I put new stuff up. Right, yeah, moving on. As I say, ukuleles that people plug in, there's a huge desire for them at the moment. I've featured loads and loads of them. And this one was something I was asked to review, so I got hold of one. And it comes with a bit of a health warning from the off, because it comes from a store that I don't recommend people buy ukuleles from, because they're not uke specialists. It comes from a store called Thomann, the European big box shippers. And this is the Thomann Harley Benton Solid Uke Natural. That's what they call it. Harley Benton is the house brand of Thomann. I've heard some good things about their guitars, and this is a solid-bodied electric ukulele. And do you know what? I really do like the look of it. This is made of all solid akume. I say solid, it's actually two pieces in the block on the back. You can see possibly there's a joint here, that's a piece, and that's a hot single piece. And I think that's a veneer drop top, because the grain is different on the top. But I really like the look of that top. I mean, you'd think it was something like acacia. It's just akume. I think it's a really attractive double bout Les Paul style shape, little thin body. There's something about this, the lack of decoration and the simplicity of it, that I really find attractive. I think it's a cracking looking instrument. It's all really nicely finished too, bar this bridge. That's bridge made of purple heartwood. It looks like it's never seen a piece of sandpaper in its life. Very rough finishing on that. Fitted with a new bone saddle from Graphtec, the artificial bone material. The only other things on the body, two control pots for tone and volume. Nice to see that those are small and not taking it over the top. I think they're really diminutive. Jack socket for connecting to your amplifier, and then on the back you've got the battery compartment, and this is the control hatch with some protective film on it which will peel off, where you can get to the wiring if you needed it to. That's a 9-volt battery in there, which I don't normally like, but that's on acoustic electric instruments because of the weight. This is a solid piece of wood. You wouldn't know whether the battery was in there or not. I really like this body. I really do like just the simplicity of it. I just think it looks really classy. I'm impressed with that. The neck is a bolt-on, as you can see, unlike that snail solid ukulele that I looked at recently, which is a set neck. There's all sorts of arguments go on as to which is better. Fender used bolt-ons, Gibson used set necks, go figure. It's a bolt-on, but it's going to be reliable. Up to a maple neck. I love maple necks. They're just glassy smooth, and this is finished really nicely too. I just love the look of them. It is in two pieces. There's a joint halfway down, but it's pretty unnoticeable. Diminutive heel because it's a thin body. This is really nice. I love maple necks. What I don't like is that these tags are really annoying me. What I don't like is that it tapers down to a kind of rounded profile here, very broom handle, and a very average 34mm at the nut, 27 G2A. That's not for me. Your mileage may vary. It's topped in more Purple Heart, which is in much better condition and finish than the bridge. Nice and even in colour. No issues with it at all. Almost glossy. It looks like it's been oiled. It has 20 frets with 14 to the body. They are on the edge of being sharp, you know. And I stress throughout this review, you get one of the things, this comes from a store that probably hasn't opened the box before it sent it to me. That has not been set up because I wouldn't send it out like that. They're not sharp, but they're very close. It's edge bound in black to hide the ends. Position dots at 3, 5, 7, 10. A double at the 12th, 15th and 17th. And they are repeated with dots down the side as well. Good news. Beyond the bone nut, setup, incidentally, too high at the nut, right at the top of what I would think to be acceptable at the 12th. It's about 3mm. it needs setting up. The strings need taking down. We will see whether that is affecting intonation, but it will feel uncomfortable with that high nut to play in first position. Beyond that is this asymmetric headstock. I rather like that, faced in more akume. I love the contrast with the maple. The Harley Benton logo is a laser etch. I don't like laser etching, but you'll see why when we come to the price. I'd still have preferred a transfer, but it's hardly offensive because it's not massive. The tuners are black, matte black, sealed gears with small black buttons. They work okay, but if I can show you, or you look at the picture on the website, whoever fitted those front bolts has done it really ham-fistedly because they've chipped the black paint off. They look really scruffy. Doesn't come with anything else other than a set of Aquila strings, so no bag or anything like that. But the price is £77 with a bit of shipping, unless you can get your total order over 150 to the UK. £77. I mean, that's remarkably cheap. And bear in mind that snail I mentioned, which, okay, has slightly better appointments with the wood, but is ostensibly the same thing. It's a solid thing with two controls, a pickup under the saddle, that's it. It's a block of wood. £250, £77. This is remarkable value. But I can't stop saying be careful, because look, that's not right. Those tuners are scruffy, the bridge is scruffy. We haven't played it yet, but I am seeing quite a few reviews from people on these saying that they've had them with pickup problems, or the setup is not right on this, or problems with that as well. So you've got to go really carefully when you're buying from places like this, because they're not uke specialists, and these aren't carried by uke specialists. Anyway, let's get into it. It's obviously heavier, much heavier than an acoustic instrument, but you expect that. 1.21 kilograms, but you don't feel it. You're probably going to be playing it with a strap, and you've got a strap button integral here. Weirdly, they didn't give you a strap button here, which I think is a mistake. They should have put one on this top shoulder. So I suppose that's another complaint, but you know, you're not going to notice it if you're not standing on stage. I don't like doing electric instrument reviews, as I always say, because it depends on the amplifier. Now, I'm running this into a Roland AC33, really nice little clean electroacoustic amplifier. If you run it into something worse than that, you're going to get a different feel. But I suppose a lot of people are getting these because they're going to throw effects at them. Nylon strung electrics don't take effects as well as steel strung instruments, but you can do it. Delays and reverbs and things like that work very well, as does tremolo. It's the distortions that sound a bit weird. Obviously makes very little sound unplugged because it's designed purely to be plugged in. So let's get the jack socket in and we'll talk through it. Okay, this is on pretty natural setting, levels. Okay, so we've got a volume, which has got good sweep on it. It's not all down at one end, and the tone also. Also has a good sweep on it and a notch halfway, which I always like. So they work okay. The pickup works okay. Well, I say that. The A is much quieter. This one is much quieter. I can fix that, probably put a little piece of paper underneath that part of the saddle, but it's not right. Sounds very like a quacky pizzo, as I expected, but so does the snail. I'm just going to take down the mids on this a little bit. Play around with the EQ, you can get it sounding more natural. I've got quite a lot of reverb on that. I shouldn't have, really, that's unfair. Distorting a bit. And that's an acoustic amp, there's no distortion, clean channel. so it's got a high output. You notice that A string is very low. There's nothing on the A. Because I've really got everything's quite low. Very hot output. Right, now if you're going to play into effects, that kind of overdrive that it's doing is probably not going to be a huge problem for you. But if you want a nice clean, okay, it's not a great pickup. That's the point. It's a cheap pickup. It's running very hot, and I've not got the levels up on this at all. It's very, very low, and the volume there was virtually off. So it's a very hot output on this example. I suspect they're going to be all really variable. Let's sum up. I really like the look of the body. This is done really, really well. I like the feel of the back of that neck. It's not my width, but your mileage may vary. The neck and fingerboard are very good. Frets are on the verge of being sharp. Scruffy tuners. And then when you plug it in, it's a cheap pickup, and it sounds like a cheap pickup. You may get one and it's very, very clean, because I know that the QC is going to be really variable on this, but this is running out very, very hot. I don't think it needs a 9-volt battery actually, because I've got a solid body that's completely passive and it runs really, really cleanly. But with a bit of tinkering, if that's your thing, because this needs a setup, with a bit of tinkering, I can't get over the fact that it's 77 quid. I mean, that's just no money at all. 250 for that snail, remember. Did I say this was a tenor scale? It's a tenor scale, sorry. 77 quid. It has its issues, but as a tinkerer's instrument to mess around with, or if you're going to throw it into a pedal board and start adding some crazy effects to it, it's worth 77 quid for an experiment, really, I would have thought. Not all bad, actually. I might have a bit more of a tinker with this one myself. The Harley Benton Solid Uke Natural. I can't get over that name. It doesn't really make sense to me. Solid Uke Natural. Natural Solid Uke, surely, or Solid Uke dash Natural. Anyway, tenor scale, £77 from Thomann only, their house brand. Not all bad, but go carefully because of QC. You know, you might get one that's better than this, you might get one that's flawless, but I've seen plenty of people comment saying they've had them, they plug them in and they don't even work. So go very, very carefully with quality control because of where it's coming from. But I'm rambling. Not at all, not wholly bad. Right, okay. I'm not here next week. I'm having a break. It's my birthday and we're going away somewhere. So I will be back a week after that. I've got then reviews booked in, I think probably till the end of July, possibly middle of August. So I've got loads to get through sat downstairs. Not sure what it is coming next, but I'm sure it'll be a bit of fun. And I hope you enjoy my break, and thanks very much for watching, and thanks for your ongoing support. It's much appreciated. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.